I would like to welcome everyone back to So-Called Experts. For the Lara, we got Duarte back in the house.
Duarte.
So we're here going to talk about the rest of the teams in the free agent market. We got 32 teams out there. Not all of them made moves, but we got teams like the Chargers, who just lost Vincent Jackson, and they're going to replace him with Robert Meacham.
Wait, breaking news. On my text, here it goes for all you so-called experts. This is straight from AJ Smith. He just says he doesn't even know what the hell he's doing in San Diego.
I believe it. For any of you Charger fans out there who think you know what Chargers are trying to do, please hit us up and let us know, because none of us here as so-called experts can figure out what they're doing.
This is what I don't understand. You have probably one of the top 10 wide receivers, Vincent Jackson. Probably out of those, maybe a top 3 most physical receiver. You take that away from Phillip Rivers, and you bring a guy like Robert Meacham
who was like
to try to fill a void. I don't understand.
Meacham has been like a career 3 or 4 receiver. He's never been a 1 or a 2. I mean, even Lance Moore was better than him in New Orleans.
Right. I don't see what AJ Smith, the general manager of the San Diego Chargers, is trying to do.
Especially in that weak division, where who's gonna win it? Every year you have. Last year, it was 2 years ago, the Chiefs. Last year was the Broncos. It's wide open.
It always seems to me like they're in a position to win that division. Yeah. For the last 5 years, they've always been the favorite, if not to go to the Super Bowl, and they always find ways to mess that up. Yeah. I don't get it.
So why is AJ Smith still there? I mean, because it starts from the top.
And you're right. I feel like they just probably have just poor ownership. And then on top of that, San Diego fans are not like your normal fans. They're not so involved with their team as, like, say, and I'll shoot it out there, like the Raiders, like the Cowboys, the Steelers, the Niners. We'll talk about all these very popular franchises, but when you go to San Diego, it's so hard just to fill a seat. You have teams from the outside areas who fill in more seats than your own home team.
I've personally been to those games in San Diego where the visiting team was 50-50 with as far as fans go. I mean, so Charger fans.
If I were a Charger fan, I would expect to get my ass beat when I go to a home game.
Yeah, if you're a Charger fan, before you go criticizing AJ Smith, how about you go to a game?
Exactly.
Right? How about you buy some jerseys? How about you represent your team and get them that fan base that then will allow them to go make them a better team?
You know what? What's sad is that they're a Southern California team, and there's even been rumors about them even moving up the road to LA. I don't get it.
Which is crazy, because that's Raider country.
Raider country.
And you're going to take them, they're going to be like probably the most hated team by their hometown fans ever. Because, I mean, it's all Raiders.
You know, I don't like to call them overrated. I hate to use that word, but at the same time,
it fits.
It does fit. It does fit because they've just been, mismanaged the entire time that AJ Smith has been there. You release a guy like Elting, who he said was done. He goes to another team, and he's not done. It almost seems like he's been wrong on almost every major move that he's done.
Except for the Eli trade, because that's what got him LT and Phillip Rivers.
True.
That was one. But, I mean, you got, like we said, Charger fans, step your game up, first of all. Because you got a team like the Raiders, where it's not the fans' fault that team's been horrible since that Super Bowl appearance when they got smashed by the Bucs. Because they're there. They're representing black and silver all day, 24/7.
And I buy into that concept. The whole Raider Nation, I love it. I love to see that from fans. They're knowledgeable. They're aware of what's going on. Well, they understand that.
They're hardcore. I don't know about knowledgeable. Sorry.
But what I will say is, they're up to date.
Right.
They're current.
Yeah, current.
And they understand that God rest his soul. God rest his soul. Al Davis, wasn't putting their team in positions to win.
So now that he's out of the way, sorry to say, what do the Raiders? I mean, they haven't made any moves in free agency.
Well, let's go back to something. Who's running that team now?
His son, right?
So the gene pool is still affected. The moves are still there.
So you're telling me you got to eliminate that whole gene pool from the Raiders until they can move?
In this case, I would.
Okay.
You're talking about, genetics playing and influence. He's corrupted that poor boy.
It runs in the family.
It runs
pretty much. So let's say some of the moves. We talked about, like, the Browns, the Bengals. The Bengals are the one team that worried me when it came to Mike Wallace.
Right.
They got 2 first-round picks and plenty of space. They could easily offer Mike Wallace a contract that we can't match.
That's true.
Give up one of their 2 first-round picks, and then just imagine you got Dalton, Wallace, and A.J. Green. I mean, even with the Ravens and Steelers defense out there, both getting old, by the way, that's a team for the future right there. That's a very scary team to face, and they're not making moves. I mean, how about like the Rams? They got a bright future, don't you think?
I think whenever you have a coach with the type of swagger and leadership that they just acquired in Jeff Fisher, you know, the team actually buys into his system, and I feel that Jeff Fisher is going to have an impact on that team. Okay. It'll be a positive one, that's for sure. I think he's going to do a lot better job than Spagnuolo did.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you're looking that they have to also contend with the Cardinals and a team like the Niners.
Right. But I think signing someone like Cortland Finnegan brings that toughness to the defense.
Well, you know, I'm never going to argue with a team that's trying to move forward. You know, that they're making moves, they're being aggressive. You know, they're trying to acquire the players that are going to make a difference. Finnegan's a great player. I don't say he's a great player, but he's a good player. Yeah. He's a team player. He's aggressive, and he's shown that. And, you know, I just think that they're heading in the right direction with Jeff Fisher.
Yeah, I think that's a good way to start. We got another team. A questionable one to me is the Eagles, Deshaun Jackson.
Well,
long-term contract. I mean,
5 years.
He's talented. Don't get me wrong, but he's had troubles in the past. I mean, he practically gave up on the team last year.
Yeah, but let's go back to the '90s. Let's look at these players because, you know, Deshaun Jackson's a playmaker. Mm-hmm. Michael Irvin had problems.
Right.
But one thing that you could never deny about Michael Irvin was he had skills and he had the ability and he showed it on the field. He made plays.
Right, but he never quit.
He never quit. But at the same time, you know, there wasn't so much pressure with signing as there is today about making that money. Because, you know, with Deshaun Jackson, a lot of his behavior had to do with the fact that his deal wasn't getting done.
Right.
So, I mean, I don't agree with the way he handled the whole situation.
Yeah, because what a champion would do in a situation like that where he's not making money is go out and prove that he's worth it. Matt Forte, for example, was in the same situation last year, not getting paid, and was beasting last year before he got injured. You know what I mean? That's the way you go about it. You don't cry and then say, I want to get paid.
Right.
You beast and then and Marshawn Lynch, another one. You beast your way into a contract. You don't cry your way into a contract. Agreed?
Agreed.
Right? So, with that said, if any of you fans out there, we didn't get to your team, please let us know. You know, argue with us all day. Send me some videos, some comments on SoCon Networks at Facebook, SoCon Networks at YouTube. Let us know what you want us to talk about. You know, let us know what your team is doing. You know what I mean? Maybe we missed something. So for Duarte, any final shout outs?
Hey, support your troops.
Like we said last time, get us a beer, you see us at a bar. Peace out.